My contract with Cisco was not renewed, unfortunately. Before I go into some of the details of that, let me just give you a little bit of background on myself for those that are new to my channel. My name is Nathan Rupert, and I live in San Diego.
San Diego. Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
I have 12 years overall IT program and project management experience. I also have 8 years Agile Scrum experience. I have my MBA from San Diego State in Business Operations Management. I also have a Bachelor of Science of San Diego State in Information Systems. Some of the key projects that I've done over the years in terms of waterfall type projects, I did a China data center launch with Qualcomm, help support commercialization of their location platform with Baidu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. They have Baidu Maps, which is similar to our Google Maps here in the US. I also was at Silicon Valley Bank where we did a AWS Connect chat implementation. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to a website and you can, do a chat with a customer service agent. We were trying to modernize the bank before it exploded.
Alarm outside headquarters of Silicon Valley Bank in Santa Clara, California today.
They just came out and told us that the bank is shut down.
SVB, the 16th largest bank in the U.S. with $175 billion in deposits, is now the biggest American bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis. Its customers are primarily businesses and investors in the tech sector.
The root cause of the failure here was a sudden and significant increase in interest rates, which, that part of the job of a bank is to manage interest rate risk, and that didn't happen here.
I've also done SharePoint and Active Directory migrations. I did those with ASML and BD, Becton Dickinson. I worked at LPL Financial, where I was part of the compliance, legal, and risk PMO, and we did an upgrade of compliance software across the company, basically to help prevent FINRA fines. In terms of Agile, I started at Sony Interactive on a safe, scaled Agile release train. We did a custom organizational chart for the Sony intranet. I also was a Scrum Master Agile coach for ASML, where they were working on Denodo, a data virtualization, and implementing a new data lake for the organization. At LPL Financial, I was a Scrum Master for the Advisor Investigations team. This is a legal team that investigated financial advisors for giving false information or advice. In total, I've trained about 5 Agile teams from scratch, Scrum mostly, and a little bit of Kanban, setting them up with the typical Scrum ceremonies, daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint review, training them on Jira and Confluence. So back to Cisco, right? That's what you came here for. About what happened at Cisco. Why was I laid off?
Finally!
At Cisco, I was there for a year and a half. I actually started out working with the Agile Management Office. We were supporting Microsoft customer project managers. I was helping with customizing Jira, setting up different swim lanes, different components, setting up their hierarchy for reporting from OKRs, which are objective and key results, down to milestones, to epics and stories. I created a tabular kind of Confluence team page. It basically showcased what products our team worked on, what are the epics our team are using, who are the team members. I was pulling in all the risks that we had identified. If someone was new to our team or wanted to know what we were doing, they had a singular spot to go to. Unfortunately, Cisco had 4,000 layoffs last year.
These layoffs are expected to begin this year and then continue into next year as part of a restructuring plan. The company did not give any details on where the job cuts would happen. These layoffs do come on top of thousands of job cuts last year.
I was probably one of 2 project managers that was left after those layoffs, and pretty much the Agile Management Office was basically disbanded. I was working with my boss, and we have a new project coming here, a hardware project supporting Microsoft with all their data centers worldwide. We have on-site Cisco and partner engineers that would be going into these data centers, inspecting hardware, upgrading hardware, replacing any bad hardware with a newer version. This is all to support Microsoft AI expansion. This new program was going to be operating more in waterfall methodology, the old school way, right? We decided to move from Jira to SharePoint lists. So I took it on myself to migrate all the data from Jira into SharePoint. I created all these SharePoint lists, customized all these different views to make it easier. For instance, we had one view when we had our own internal PMO meetings and action items. But when we were talking to manufacturing or logistics or those other teams across Cisco, we would go to separate views of action items and issues. Then other parts of our organization were slowly adapting Monday.com, which is kind of like an online version of Microsoft Project. It's a little more user-friendly. It's very colorful with really nice labels, and it automatically generates Gantt charts and stuff like that. Now we're moving to Monday.com. I had used Monday.com before, but this was a real learning experience for me to be able to do a deep dive into Monday.com. I threw myself at that and moved all of our data from SharePoint lists to Monday.com. I set up all the different boards, moved our SharePoint homepage to a Monday.com homepage. I set up new automation. For example, if you moved the issue to in progress, it would move it to this group. If you closed an issue, it move it to that group, etc. I set up a lot of custom automation for the team just to make things easier as well. So now we are in Monday.com and we're doing a waterfall project. Right about it as this project is about to blow up. We're about to go international. My boss goes to renew my contract and he is denied.
Nothing for you. Come back 1 year.
He didn't know about my contract ending. That's what blew my mind, is my boss was not even aware of this. I had set up bi-weekly one-on-one meetings with my boss just so I could get constant feedback on how I was doing. And not once did I get a negative report or talk about my performance. He was always throwing new projects at me. I thought I was good, and I did not think the contract renewal was going to be an issue at all. Someone high above my boss had slashed the budget to our program, and I was done at Cisco. I did not even get 2 weeks notice. I got 2 days notice. That was pretty sad for me, having to say goodbye to everyone that quickly. I do feel, this is my personal opinion, that Cisco does tend to put engineers a little bit on a pedestal over project and program managers, promoting them faster and they get more visibility across the organization. I think that's just due to their history. Cisco was built on network engineers. That's why they put them above everything else. But in my personal opinion, I feel like a good program manager can make just as much or more impact than an engineer, right? Because you are coordinating multiple engineers. You're ordering the hardware. You're working with logistics to make sure it ends up at the data center on time. You're tracking every piece of time that the engineer is doing throughout the day, and you're reporting on that to senior leadership. You're tracking the overall schedule. You might have multiple data centers going at once. You might be doing international work. I feel like the impact that a good program manager has is just as much as the engineer. So yeah, I'm on the job hunt now for a new IT project or program manager, agile coach or scrum master position. I live in San Diego, so I'm open to on-site or hybrid in San Diego. I'm also very good at working remote. I've worked with engineering developer teams in India. I know ways to keep them engaged on a project, even though they're on another time zone. I hope to do some day in the life videos, maybe some job hunting videos. So if you're interested in any more of my job search videos or what it is like in a day of life of living in San Diego, please subscribe to the channel. I also have a second YouTube channel called Photographer Profile. I'll link it in the description below, where I interview other photographers and showcase their work. If you love photography, make sure to check out that channel as well. Anyhow, I put a LinkedIn at the top of the description down there. If you guys have any job openings, let me know. I know the job market is tough right now for tech, but I'm going to go 100% into this, and hopefully I'll find another great opportunity soon. All right. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later.